commissioner wishing to speak out? Oh, okay, you're just looking at it. Okay, we're moving on to new business. First up, SGA talent grant. Motion, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules? Oh, he's making a motion to suspend the rules.
Just wanted to make another brief announcement. Anyway, another brief announcement. Remember, if you're, Justin's right, this is what I'm announcing about it. If you're speaking on a subject, please stand. We're going to make a new change. I'm modifying a little bit what you said, Justin. If you want to speak on a subject that's already being spoken about, stand, and maybe it'll recognize people in order. If you want to change the subject, raise your hand. And I just think that would help. Okay. So, again, we'll try and cover everyone in that subject first, and then we'll move on from there. And again, please be standing when you speak. That's it.
All right. First town grant, Bottom County Festival. Is there anyone here to grant? Kelsey, Joyce, you have your stand if you want to come up here in front of the podium and speak.
Hi guys, I'm Kelsey Joyce. I'm the organizer for Bottom County Music and Arts Festival that happens every year. I gave a quick little flip about what we're doing last time. If there are any other questions or anyone that wasn't here wants me to say stuff again, I can. Hi.
Hi. So my question is, it sounds like a lot of things are underway, and is it still possible to have the event without the talent grant / we can with the talent grant? Like, what do you think?
So basically, easy answer is no. The rental for our site alone is $1,500. So when I was asking for $2,000, I'm just renting the land and getting a couple gallons of paint, brushes, and tarps and such. So really, I'm just getting the location, and if we didn't get the town grant, Bottom County can happen this year. Thank you for asking. Any other questions?
All right, moving on to the next talent grant, math rock concert. Is anyone here?
No, we were voting on that.
Okay.
We're going to vote on the block.
Do I hear a motion? Do I hear a motion to move to roll call? Senator Swartz. I mean, he's not here. Senator Wilson.
Aye.
Senator Bilhowen. Senator Walsh. Senator Pence. Senator Benner. Senator Nortman. Senator McNesby. Senator Perillo. Senator Shorter. Senator Johnson. Senator Lewis. Senator Utz. Senator Walker. Okay. Senator Malaga. Senator Henry. Senator Bernstein. Senator Shapiro Santos. Senator Artigo Valencia. President Hernandez. President Cooper. President Plano. All right, is this meeting of the chair that the ayes have it? Talent grant. All right, now moving on to the next talent grant, math rock concert. Welcome.
Hello everyone, I'm Zach, the organizer for this talent grant application. I'm here for you guys for you ask some questions. Some of the concerns have made their way to me, so I thought I'd take this time to address them myself. So the two biggest concerns were the dating price. These guys are on a tour, so they can't be moved. They have a show the next day up in DC, and then they move up north away, so they can't be moved at all for the show. And so for price, again, this can't really budge. When I was initially planning the event, I reached out to Programs Board and Radio Club and Frontier Funds. For whatever reason, both of them could not continue with that. So town grant ended up being larger than I wanted it to be. I've already lowered the bids. Fans are getting paid as low as they can possibly go. And speaking on that, I've also heard some concerns about why one band is getting paid more than the others. It's not an uncommon practice for the main event of the show to get paid more than like the opening acts. So that's why that's there. We're not paying for airfare or anything. That's just that's how this process works. In regards to the attendance / 50 days, again, my show runs from 8 to 11 p.m. And further break that down, each band will play about 30-40 minute set with a short intermission between to get the next set ready. A few of my peers have told me people aren't going to the bar at 8 or 9 p.m. People go to the bar at 10 p.m., even later than 8. And even if they do still want to go to both events, people can just leave this event early if they're not trapped in. There's nothing to stop them from leaving early. And seniors aside, the event will be advertised as an alcohol-free event. Being a member of Safe Housing for 3 years and attending many options events, there's a big audience of people looking for more alcohol-free events on campus. And I think this is definitely going to meet that need. Some people don't think that the campus center patio is big enough to house this event. I want to clarify that I'm referring to the space where the tables and chairs are normally at, not where the water is on the left side. I personally, myself, went out and measured about how much space I take up, and with some measuring tape approximations, about 120 Zach's 10 hours can fit over there. Not to mention people want to sit a little further away and listen, like on the benches, like the rest of the campus center patio. I no doubt the space is big enough for this stuff. Lastly, let me read to you a quote from the Point News from 2009. The Talent Grant Program was created as a way for any full-time degree-seeking student to apply for funding from the SGA to support a campus initiative that they would like to see carried out. It's come to my attention that there are other regularly scheduled events happening in the year and earlier in the year that would normally use Talent Grant funding. Student initiatives should not be picking up the slack for these regularly scheduled events. As please remember why the Talent Grant was created as a result of. So I have to say. So if you have any more questions, please speak up.
So, just a point of clarification, the reason why purpose board did funding is because we had no money to give out because our budget's completely cleared out.
Yeah.
And the reason why operating did funding is because their budget's already set beginning of the year, like we improved everything for that.
Yeah, so I'm in the purpose board early in the year around September through that. And two agreed to me that they'd be able to do around $800 some.
That was before we had figured out our budget and set our budget. But we didn't set any of our spring max at that point, so we didn't have much money to spend. But if we turned out we had less money than we thought.
Yeah, nothing that at that meeting was set in stone, and it was all speculative. And we offered planning assistance and advertising help once we had gone through the town grant process. But yeah, we didn't have a lot of external. Well,
Okay.
Much money left over to be funded this.
Should we fund this bill? There will be $1,800 left of the town grant, $1,600 which has to go to the minor community grant, which would mean the other town grant for legislation that is not going to. What is that? So there would be $200 left for local town grants and $1,600 left for the minor community grant, which is like a separate area of the town grant for the minor community grants.
How many Cal grants do you go over with that one?
There's currently, there's another one going into, that should be enough to go tonight, this evening, there's one for $1,400, and that's the one. And the only other town grant that was considered was the PL Juniors one, which has been switched to a bill in order for it to be considered tonight, this is, depending on what happens with tonight's legislation.
Point of privilege, can you repeat that a
Oh,
little
I'm
louder?
sorry. So, there's another town grant up for go tonight for $1,400. If Zach's town grant passes, there would not be enough funds in the town grant to even fund that one at $200. So if this passes, if this one would not go to vote, there is another town grant that got submitted for behavioral educators that can switch to a bill. So just because if one of the town grants got passed tonight, it would have been able to be considered. So I wanted to be voted on by SGA so it can switch to a bill. And we'll that's also to be voted on.
Is there like, I don't know, isn't there like a motion you can make to the third town grant
all set. We would make a motion to amend the agenda.
Okay.
But that requires a second parliamentarian.
Second.
I'm not making the motion, I'm simply saying.
Okay, can I make a motion to amend the agenda? Like to hear both, I'd like to hear the whiteboard talent grant, and before voting on that.
Do I hear a second for that? Clarify.
Second.
So we'll hold off on voting on both until we've heard both.
Any other questions before?
Are all three voting on the board?
Yes, yes, all three. Yeah, so I've been working on this since last September. Yeah, confirmation, everything is all like set. They're totally ready.
When did the competition come? Like, was it recent?
Last December, towards the end of the semester. We didn't hear from you then because finals.
Are there any more questions? Are we going to move on to the third talent grant for whiteboards? Thank you. All right, Victoria.
Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Chang. As you know, I'm the club coordinator. So in the time that I've been here at St. Mary's, I have studied in Upper Monty, I have studied in Shaker Lobby, the Good Pastor lobbies, and just various places around campus. What I have noticed is that there is a lack of mobile whiteboards. Slash on the weekends, a lot of times classrooms are locked, so I am not able to get into those classrooms to use these whiteboards for studying, and I know a lot of my students, my friends have felt the same way. So what I'm proposing is to bring movable whiteboards to open areas around campus, such as Upper Monty, Schaefer Lobby, and Kent Lobby. And these are all places where they can be generally utilized by students on the weekends when classrooms are locked or when classes are in session and students cannot enter those classrooms. This also means that they can be used in the general areas just not only for studying, but if students decide to have meetings in those open lobbies, because sometimes it's hard to fit everyone into a classroom. Sometimes Schaefer 106 or Good Pastor 196 are both taken, and those are two of the biggest places on campus with large whiteboards. And I just really wanted these to be in public spaces, really just be accessible for students. But yeah, do you guys have any questions for me?
So, I really like this idea. I definitely see the need for more whiteboards across campus.
Yeah.
However, I have a suggestion. I've spoken with a few other centers about this. Would it be better, do you think, to install the whiteboards instead of the study rooms in all the dorm halls? Because currently, I don't think any of them have whiteboards. I really think that would help make those places a little bit better for study.
Yeah, so I thought about that actually, and am I allowed to answer? I need you, or do I need to follow it? Oh, okay. Sorry. You can say something. Go ahead. Oh, okay. So I thought about that. These whiteboards and whiteboards that size each are about $200 each, and to install them in every single campus, like study room per se, for like each of them, I think we could probably modify it to put it in one study room per building. But again, like I said, these are about $200 each. So I didn't really factor that in, but if that's something you guys wanted to look at, I could definitely, we could table it and I can modify the bill if there's a unanimous, like not unanimous, but majority.
Okay, so she's raising her hand, so it's what you have to say relative to.
It was in a dog, it was,
Okay, President.
and that was sort of.
And you should have the key point, you should just say, also raise your hand if it's a response.
Should I, well, can I say that?
Yeah, you can, please.
Okay. Okay, I was gonna go off of Joe's comment about the dorms, like, I think that's a pretty good idea, as a first year student, I don't mind in the library and stuff like that, because they do have larger whiteboards there. Two questions I have are, the first one, have you noticed that like you're not the only student who feels like those are places where most students like to study, where they like they're really going? And my second one is like, how large are these whiteboards?
So in terms of these places being places that, so these were just recommendations. So I looked at Montgomery Hall, and I talked to students who study there. And then I also talked to, and I figured if I put them in Kent and Schaefer, which are two also very large lobby areas, where I know that there are students coming and going between, that I figured those would be good positions to place them. But I think I included something that said that I was looking at also including a clause to vote on places to put these whiteboards as well. Because I knew, of course, like you're saying, that not everybody, maybe I don't know, maybe like Monty isn't the best place, maybe it should be in the campus center. In terms of these whiteboards, they're about, I'm trying to look, there's like a new gauge the size off of. See that, the Paris Glendenning, it's like about, actually I really can't tell if that's the same size. In relation to a regular whiteboard. Have you, like in leadership lab, yeah.
Bigger or smaller than smart?
What?
Bigger or smaller than smart?
That a smart board?
Yeah.
Like a little bit smaller than a smart board?
Okay.
So it's like,
They're on wheels, so like it's on a metal frame. I can get to dimensions.
okay, that's near.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, so the library is like monitors where it's like turning the card in order to get monitors to use the whiteboards. I was just wondering, like, who's funding, like, is the funding moving from the town grant? So, like, how are you gonna make sure, like, you're accessible for students to use that?
So I didn't specifically include it in the grant, but that is also something, thank you for bringing that up, that I had not thought about. Yeah.
Near the library.
I would suggest maybe moving the Kent lobby whiteboards to Amarillo because I think Kent lobby is really small and I don't know if it would really support like a whiteboard. Like there's like a little place to like sit and then kind of like a step of where you can like really go to Kent. But like the Blackstone room in Amarillo is really nice and like that would be really good. I just want to put that out there, but I was just thinking it's important to like maybe like make sure that the buildings that we're putting these in are like where students go to study. So like I know a lot of people don't want to get Schaefer, but I don't know if people will make the hike to Anne Arundel for a whiteboard. But I think like putting them like in Monty Schaefer, let anyone who doesn't have it know for study at all.
So in response to like putting it in Kent, this was also one of my foresights and thinking about this wasn't just like making the hike there, but I know that there are students that remain in Kent or Anne Arundel like the whole day. And if the classrooms are continuously occupied throughout that whole day, they're not necessarily going to want to go somewhere else. So that was just something I was thinking about, the traffic there. But yeah, thank you. Anne Arundel makes a lot more sense. I don't frequent Kent very often. Trustee Wood.
I looked at the bottom and said that we haven't applied for the funding from the socialist. I was wondering, have we spoken to the dean of students or their department heads, at least like potentiality or hypothetical of it? Because in my perspective, whiteboards or study rooms is kind of an academic necessity, and the school should have interest in observing and providing for the academic students. And it feels a little bit to me like public safety coming to us and asking for money for body cameras, where that should be like available on something the school should be providing. Especially if the school doesn't have actual study rooms.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. So in terms of my understanding of the talent grant is to bring something that would help benefit the school as a whole. And to me, improving the well-being of study necessities and supplies, of course, is something that I thought, and this was something that I felt very passionate about, and so I decided to bring it here, of course. I don't know if this falls under point of privilege, but what was the first thing you said about
have we spoken to the dean of students or other academic?
I have not spoken to any other academic people, no. Sorry.
Kind of just a quick like sponsor.
Okay, wait, no,
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I would say, I would also agree this is like important for students and the campus as a whole, but like, so are body cameras or so are security cameras and to the extent that there should be, so it's a great area, but we should have to pay for that area, that kind of stuff. That's all.
Student rep, Mason.
I was gonna say the same thing, I think that at least for Amazon, the one's locked all weekend, so never ever open. So on something to consider if this goes through, or if you find that another department because can't provide you funding, is to see what buildings realistically are open on the weekends and what aren't, and just base it off of that, because you don't wanna put a $200 whiteboard in and run the weekend when no one's there. And while, yeah, it'll be available during the daytime, when students are coming in and out or staying in the building, it might be something good to consider. And I was just gonna say also, maybe consider reaching out to academic departments for at least Schaefer and, good pastor, because I feel like there may be some flexibility that from departments that have extra, and I agree, it's a academic necessity, it's something that's provided. And there are some, there's like 2 floating around, Monty, so I'm sure that if you propose it, like, we need newer ones that are refurbished, it might be something that the academic departments would consider.
Yeah, and, one of the things, like you guys keep bringing up, the different places in which I was thinking about bringing them. The places I mentioned were merely just suggestions, and, there definitely are a little bit more, like, but they were suggestions because I knew that this would be a discussion that I am not the only person to know where the best study places on campus are. And like Senator Furlow said, even thinking about putting them inside the study rooms was a great idea, which I didn't think about. But again, like, they were just suggestions, I wasn't sure, but I was figuring that whiteboards. But, and then also, I do think that, yes, I should go and speak to, academic because it shouldn't be just on us. And I only put in enough for about 5, and, because I wasn't sure again as well where to put them, and it would have to be that thinking about it, yeah.
Senator President Hernandez. I really like the idea of having the whiteboards on North Campus because I've had students complain that North Campus isn't really a study spot or isn't like known for studying, unlike the library, unlike all the study rooms are in the corners of each building. But I did have one question. Do you have any concerns about like the security of the whiteboards or like where are they going to be stored or is not going to be like smack in the middle if you were to do like the lobby of Schaefer? Or near Jane?
Yeah, so, I did think about security in terms of, because they are mobile, but, I also thought about the feasibility of moving a whole whiteboard out of the building. So that was one thing that I kind of thought about. I am also optimistic about trusting the students on this campus. I know that is not a sentiment commonly felt among my peers. But I think that accountability would be a large part in terms of keeping track of these whiteboards. And if we were to include markers, I would think about maybe attaching them in some manner. So that way there would be some kind of accountability. But yes, I agree. I don't know.
If this honor grant does pass, who are you thinking would be responsible for like moving the whiteboards to where you would propose them? Who would be responsible for like regulating them? Like, what would that involve?
Yeah, so in terms of moving them, I was really thinking about just doing it myself. In terms of regulation, again, like I was talking to the President Hernandez, that I was thinking mostly about the idea of honesty and just holding each other to a certain standard. But yes, maintenance, of course, I think if you think about all the whiteboards that are already attached to a wall, maintaining those, nobody really maintains them. It's just whoever passes them, they're like, oh, I'm gonna use this, they erase it. So it's kind of along those lines as well. Just really I was thinking, because of what we already have in place and how things normally seem to pass, that this, that they would probably also entail with these movable whiteboards already. And as I forget who mentioned it, there are floating around whiteboards in Monty, but a lot of professors are actually very finicky about their whiteboards going missing. I've actually asked to borrow them, and they told me that I could not, that they had to remain in that room. And that's why, again, I wanted to bring these.
Senator Norman?
Yeah, sorry, one more question. So I was just wondering, like, just kind of how, if this does pass, like, are we then going to vote on the board? I don't just like, in general. It just seems like things haven't quite been, like, there's still like a lot of things are up in the air. So I was just wondering, like, if we're voting on this tonight, what that looks like.
If we're going to pass them tonight, it would be for the purchase of whiteboards, the location of which is.
Okay, and like, I don't know, because if we pass this bill, it affects the, effect of the other town grants, I'm just wondering, like, how many whiteboards, like, is it proposed now? Because it seems like things changed, in terms of like the location of resident halls, like how many resident halls, whiteboards do we, like, if that were the proposed location later. I don't know, I just feel like I don't feel like we have enough information right now to vote, and then it then impacts the other town grant.
For the sake of the other talent grant that is up for tonight, I have also spoken with the city exec board, and I was also willing to decrease the amount I was asking for. And I'd like everyone else to know that as well. So if you were, I am willing to take off my talent grant tonight and modify it and take all of your suggestions and speak with you all more about it and re-propose it.
Senator Pence? Does this have to be a town grant?
Coordination. So I put it under talent grant because I looked at the different methods of which I could go through getting money. This is not under clubs. This is not really an SGA matter. This is something that I thought benefits all students, and that was what the talent grant I was told was supposed to be purposed for. And this is something that I thought would help students. But in the case of hearing what all of you had said tonight, again, like I said, I am willing to take it off and talk to all of you and figure out, especially in this, for the sake of another talent grant.
Senator Brown?
Is there any way we could maybe table this talent grant till next week's meeting, just so we could explore the option of putting it in residence halls, and also finalize the price and some of the questions that were raised tonight?
President Hussey?
There is if you make a motion for it.
I'd like to motion to table till next week.
Do I hear a motion? Trustee Hubler?
Yeah, no, I apologize. If we modify it during the process, do we read it as the same tabled bill or proposal, or do we just decide to table this one indefinitely, and then, part of the chain makes an updated version, I'm gonna look at that and
Coordinator Chain?
I think at this point, after hearing all of you have to say and sounding like we would like to go through the other talent grant, I will take off my talent grant. I am making that decision right now, and I'm going to speak to academic buildings. Not tonight, but in the future.
Senator Morgan?
So does that mean we could possibly discuss finding funding from somewhere else, or like co-funding, or do something like that?
Coordinator
So,
Chain?
like I just said, I'm taking it off. This is no longer, I am going to motion to remove my talent grant tonight and motion someone else amend the agenda.
I hear a motion to amend the agenda.
Second.
Okay. So we're amending the agenda. We're taking off my talent grant.
And then when you come in a second, that's changed. Okay.
Okay. And then email me. I'm going to go speak to other places to get funding for this. Cool. Yes? Yes, that works? Okay.
Senator Walker?
I just wanted to make a statement. I think that it's like, yeah, it is like a risk to trust students with the safety and security of the whiteboards, but I think it's definitely very necessary because like, they are the student body that we're representing. Also, like, if you attach markers to whiteboards and stuff like that, like, if you guys have ever been like in a sketchy area and you see like bullet through like class, like the lack of trust kind of signifies like, oh, this area is kind of ratchet. Like, I think that we should signify that this is a place where like you trust each other, you trust us.
And that's what I was saying, is that my mindset going into creating this talent grant was that the students of this institution can be trusted, and that this is something that I'm bringing here for students to use and to take advantage of. I assume that I also will not be taken advantage of. And saying that, I know, is also, again, not a shared sentiment amongst many people on this campus, but this is not a place, like Zach said, in which I am passing judgment among any of my peers. And in that sense, I wanted to bring this to try and bring change and resources to our school, in which our school does not apparently think that we have these resources that they can supply them themselves. And so we have to come here and ask for them instead.
Okay, so I'm gonna cease the conversation about whiteboards. If you have any more comments, concerns, questions, advice, point of contact would be Victoria. You can email her, call her, I don't text her, I don't know. Just talk to Victoria about it.
Email
We're
me.
no longer talking about this. We're gonna move back.
I'd like to make a motion to reconsider.
Do I hear a motion to reconsider the math?
I'm making a motion to reconsider the math.
I have a point of information. Can you say your email, please?
Yes. My email is V as in Victoria, N as in Nicole, CHANG@smcm.edu. You can also reach me on Facebook. Any point of any contact, really. I'm on all of them all the time. I appreciate it.
Senator Duffy, you have something?
Oh, well, after we move back to the math part, or after we move back to the math part, considering math part, I had a question about whether or not if we vote on this, it empties the calendar for the rest of the semester, and whether or not there are other calendars considerations, because I think I missed that earlier.
Yeah, so, if we vote on the math rock concert as it's currently written, there will be $250 left in the calendar grant to give out the rest of the year. I'm not currently aware of any projects that are coming up, but again, there's still stuff that we can add left. So just something to consider.
Okay, so we are now moving back to the Mad Rock concert. Zach.
I have nothing more to say. If you guys have any more questions.
Does anyone have any questions, Senator Bernstein?
I was wondering if perhaps we may be able to strike like a compromise, maybe cut the most expensive bands so that we still have some fun left over. We still have 2 bands. I don't know what you thought about that.
I've not thought about that. This is a tour, so, like, these bands are traveling together.
All together.
Yes, so it would be very awkward to have 2 members playing the other ones.
That's okay.
Especially the main event.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Senator Schwartz?
There's a couple bands on campus. I know one of them's pretty, like, a pretty big gig, just in front of like a pretty large crowd. I'm saying one of the other, like, student bands. Well, maybe like not like instead, but like along with maybe like custom costs. As I just responded to Senator Alex, for instance, I don't know how you're doing it. Cutting a band is out of the question since they're traveling together. So if one band is playing here, all 3 are playing here, and I don't think you have a union. You're correct. It would be a really scummy thing to do to withhold one from playing there at this event, and also to further justify the cost. Put it in perspective, these bands are playing in the UK. These are not like local bands. These are pretty. Anything else?
Senator Santos.
Do you elaborate on the cost of light and sound, why it's more expensive than entertainment?
Yeah, so like I said last week, the lighting sound guy I reached out to, his name is Brooks Whitemore. He was a contact that Derek Young suggested me to. We don't have the necessary equipment here on campus for students to use for an event like this. At graduation, he is the same guy that the school reaches out to for lighting and sound for that event. as to why it's so expensive, that beats me. That was his prices. I'm in no room to argue with him on that. Thank you.
Trustee Wood?
Maybe I misinterpreted Senator Swartz's question, but I was wondering, we have some, like, one, I know the band called Residual, that's a lot better than the name suggests. And they're playing something, pretty big, like, if we could get some student bands also, not like just playing instead, but playing in addition to, we could increase the quality of the event, like the number of bands we have, while keeping the prices in, because I'm sure the student band would like to play. They would love to play students too. Well, yeah, like, anyhow, part of it's like, I mean, it's nice to play for like a 10:30 club or something, but it's also like, I mean, not all of us can drive up and see them play, and I'm sure they would really appreciate coming on here to see it, but, yeah, is that an option?
Were you saying that you like get play here for free, or I have to pay them? Because if I have to pay them, I have to increase the time rate yet again, and according to Jake, we have $250 extra dollars.
No, but actually,
Wait, no.
point of clarification, we have $250 left over if we fund it out.
Yes,
There is currently,
I was working under the assumption of if it was passed. That was the question, was like,
I
adding
just
and.
want to make sure that was clear, it's not $250 per person.
All right, the chair recognizes itself. Okay, so have you considered maybe not like finding outsourced, like, even though it would be a really cool like opportunity for us to like see like non-local like music, but we do have like Senator Schwartz made the comment that we have local bands like on campus, like student-run bands, and then maybe like local talent as well. Maybe have you thought of like maybe doing a local like St. Mary's County Festival, like showcasing like the talent from us, like our school.
So I've not thought about that. I'm not from this area. To give you some background, I'm from Chicago. I'm not really aware of any of a lot of the local talent in this area. He said, Senator Schwartz brought up Hispanic. Students people that brought up time.
It's the same guy.
Oh, yeah. So maybe more so. So, I mean, hypothetically, is that is something I could do, but at that point, as I give you guys kind of like a sense of mentality, kind of be more coming from with this. I'm trying to emulate what John Morvito did our first year here. If I were to commit with a different show, trash all the planning I would have, a lot of this would lose the sentimentality for me. And then at that point, I don't know, it would lose a lot of the soul for me.
Okay, so just my question is, would you be willing to consider, like, if this does not pass, consider, like, getting together with people who know of, like, local bands and, like, throwing a St. Mary's, like, festival, like, showcasing St. Mary's talent, like, getting together with those people and maybe trying to, like, put some of yourself into that? Would you be willing to do that? That's my question. Like, would you be willing?
I'd be open to having the conversation, but at this point, I don't know if I have the, I don't know if I'd be willing to go through and actually done that, but I'd be open to having the conversation.
Okay, Senator Norman?
Point of order really quickly, I did just want to say, there's no good way to answer that question. That's honestly, just in general. To say like this, because I'm saying if the subject says yes, that is, saying I'm killing my own bill. If the subject says no.
I said if it doesn't pass.
I know, and I'm just saying in terms of like, debate, it's, yes, we have good questions, but I don't think that's a good way to have that question. Because if he says yes, it kills his own bill. If he says no, he's saying I'm not worthy to have a legitimate bill in front of the floor. It's just not.
Senator Norman?
I have a question about whether or not you consider doing any like fungus for this event. I know you stated like the grant of what it is, but I was just wondering, are there any other ways you could fund this other than like that stuff?
Well, so I've seen various clubs and organizations do like big sales or this kind of money, and hypothetically, it could be an option I could pursue, but that's not guaranteed at all. I don't even get close to the amount that I need, or like a shave off 200 for beer if I try to fundraise. There's no guarantee that I can make that 200 back.
Okay. My other question like shave off a lot. That like we're spending right now.
You're speaking quite, reaching out to who?
Like a lot of companies will partner with this type of event if they know like a band's coming from out of town. It seems like there's other fundraising methods that could have done prior to asking for like $3,000.
Yeah.
Which is a large part of our.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering like if you like considered any of that in like in the future. That was, like.
So, I don't think so. And at this point, if I have no slack to try to pursue fundraising, as the tour gets finalized very soon.
Yes, that's why I'm wondering like how long have you spent like knowing like how long have you known about this? Sorry, how long have you like known about this? That's my question. Like and if so, like did you know?
This cost that I've submitted to you, I've known for about 2 weeks.
Two weeks.
The lighting and sound guide was a very new addition. I mean, more like 3 weeks actually. Since I've come back to school this semester, lighting and sound guide was a very new addition. I thought we had. I could list equipment names, but I don't know if people know what I'm talking about. I thought we had certain equipment here on campus. I looked into it, did not have a certain equipment here on campus. So that's where that came from. It was initially more around 2,000 was the cost of this thing. But the lighting and sound brought that up a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna ask that if anyone has any similar things that have already been said, to please not, like, not do that, because we have to move on. Director Rose.
So this is less of a question for you, but more so that you guys all know, because like Tavita was saying, we have been repeating a lot of the same information, so I want to give you guys some background. First off, why light and sound is so expensive. For Brooks, it's mostly because of the labor. He brings himself and 1 or 2 other people with him, so he has to pay for that. All of the equipment and transporting it here. We do have our SGA media techs. We do not have concert lighting though. So we can have speakers, but it will be dark, which is why Derek recommended that Zach go to Brooks. And that's why that is more expensive than just having a media tech do it. Also, all of your questions about possibly Zach looking at other bands or why didn't he look at other bands doesn't really matter, because these are the bands that he's proposing. It is too late in the game to go out and try to contract other bands, see if they're available, actually write up a contract, get both people to approve it, and then that's the show date. So it is too short of a time for Zach to even consider dropping these bands and looking elsewhere. And also asking why didn't he get this type of fundraising, or why didn't he look elsewhere for funding first, or why wasn't this brought to us last semester, also doesn't matter at this point because it's being brought to us right now. So those types of questions, honestly, at this point are not helpful because they don't really put us forward. It's just like we're blaming Zach for things, which is not how this should be going right now. Nothing can really be changed with his bill. There's really nothing he can drop. Adding another student band, in theory, would be cool, but a 4-band concert is a really long concert for people to stay the whole time. And if the student band is first, since they're not getting paid, a lot of people will come to that and then leave. And so that's not really a productive concert. So just keep things like that in mind. I don't know what you guys are all planning on saying, but keep things like that in mind. We can't really change anything like that right now. So we are purely, not we are, you guys are purely voting on the bands that he has at this price with the lighting and everything on this date and time. So nothing really can be changed realistically for that. And partnering with other people, such as Kelsey's reaction in Bottom County, isn't really feasible at this time either because of the timing of the planning processes. So just keep that in mind.
Senator Superio Santos.
Oh, would you, sorry, after it kind of makes sense to say after the third one, but what I was gonna say is, have you ever considered maybe chapters of campus?
For funding?
Or helping with organization and organizing and also some kind of, like whether or not it's $1,000
Can I put that question to Jay? Close can't help me, but Jay.
Yeah, so I mean, asking, so you were asking why, like, reaching out for that for like advertising and organization and all that?
Or really, maybe, I don't know, I know some clubs may have asked for funding and they don't really do anything for that funding later on, but they still want the benefit of families. This could be something.
So for that, if they wanted to, unless they wanted to pull from their own personal fundraising to help with this, since whenever we do fund deals, we have, like, we allocate the money for specific items in the budget. So they would have to do a fund transfer request to like leave a new line item in the budget for like the concert, which has to go through me first, and I honestly don't know, like, it's like, it would be, yeah, like, there's not like a single club that would be able to fund this in its entirety. There'd have to be a measure of like different clubs, it would be pretty difficult to organize. And then like you have like the issue of like, well, like, who's handling what, it's like you're coordinating between like four or five different clubs at that point. It's like, I see where you're coming from, but like, and also like at this point, like, that's not really feasible. Because clubs like also like, they already have plans in place with something. And a lot of times they don't realize that they have any leftover fund to like do the end or that they didn't use it. And that fund doesn't carry, those funds don't carry over in the semester, like they answer the account. So if they had anything left over, it was going to a very different fund. So they would have access to it.
I'd like to make a point of order. If there's something that has already been discussed is on your mind and you'd like to speak, please reconsider in the interest of time. If you're going to suggest working with other organizations, I would suggest that that is perhaps not something that is feasible at this point. And I'd like to motion that once those who are standing have spoken, we go ahead and move to vote and with the discussion. Thank you. So, no, those who are currently standing, so these three.
Okay, Senator Malone.
I was wondering if there's like a timeline laid out, because when, last week, I believe it was like, we were 2 months away from the planned event date. I don't know if you, how like if this passes tonight and this concert like happens, like how, like that's a big thing. It takes a lot of time and like a lot of effort, and I just am curious to know how that would go, like how you would get this ready in 2 months.
So is your question like, on the date, like, are people coming in, or like, I'm elaborate on like the timeline.
So like, what, do you have plans with, you know, the sound and lighting guy, is he coming the day before, is like, something, like, do you have?
Yeah, so
an idea
the,
of how this is all gonna go after you do the money?
yeah, the band's gonna arrive, between 4 and 6. Brooks Whitmore and his guy are gonna arrive here around, 6 as well.
But like, in terms of like long term, I don't know, it's like 2 months, like how are you getting ready to like plans and that?
And she's asking your timetable.
Yeah.
I really don't, I'm sorry, like,
That's okay. No worries.
All right, do I hear a motion to move to a call vote?
thank you.
Senator Schwartz.
Aye.
Senator Wilson.
Aye.
Senator Bilko. Senator Walsh. Senator Pence. Senator Benner. Senator Nortman. Senator McNesby. Senator Perillo. Senator Shorter. Senator Johnson. Senator Lewis. Senator Utz. Senator Walker. Senator Malaga. Senator Henry. Senator Bernstein. Senator Shapiro Santos.
Aye.
Senator Artiga Valencia.
Aye.
President Hernandez. President Cooper. President Lanham.
Aye.
Just,
President Messick.
just a reminder, there's abstentions in a vote that subtracts from the total, so if there are 20 people here and 5 people abstained, you have to subtract 5 from the 20, and you're counting out of 15. So we're just trying to make sure that we have the right count of how many vote yes, no, or abstain. That's why I say this one.
Would a recess be useful? If you call a recess.
Yeah, take a 5-minute recess, sorry,
Yeah.
this is my fault.
Motion to recess for 5 minutes.
Second. All right, 5-minute recess. Be back at 9:16 on the dot.
The abstentions change it. Sorry, this is my fault.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what you want. Yeah, so I before I was gonna take them all the chairs, all the tables and stuff, and then decided to do on the campus side. I had meetings with the director of the office, and he sends an email to me that the bench is posted today. I've been all the better.
I hope they just hate us.
All right.
Alright. Recess. Alright, so it is the opinion of the chair that the nays have it, this motion fails. We will now be moving,
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda. I would like to motion that we reverse points C and D under new business and consider funding for sex week bill 1904, bill 1902.
Motion.
I heard seconds.
Yeah.
There were seconds.
That's, yes.
Senator Schwartz.
This is a question I asked, since they got inclined, is there a way for it to get back to like maybe next year?
Senior.
I mean, you're senior.
He left, but I didn't speak with him. I was also going to help co-organize this. We can pass it on to someone else, hopefully next year.
Right, we are now moving on to bill 1903, funding for sex week. Is there someone here to speak to that, please? Treasurer Miller? Oh, wait, no. Excuse me.
I just want to comment very quickly about the change. This was originally submitted as a town grant, but because of the number of town grants we've had coming to the vote tonight, and I wasn't sure like how those would go, I wanted to make sure we still got a chance to hear this bill. And also, since this is something we can find on a yearly basis, I resubmitted it as a bill just so it like had a chance to be presented today. I just copy and pasted the town grant below by it for the short explanation of why it's a bill now. Just so that we can keep that up.
I'm Kate, I'm the peer health educator fellow. So Sex Week is an event that we put on every spring during the week of Valentine's Day. It's a way that we as the peer health educators like to help increase sex education here on campus. We do work closely with groups like SMART and the fellow LGBTQ inclusion in order to ensure that our event is inclusive for everybody and that everyone can come and have a good time and learn something. I think we all know that there is an overlap in sex education in schools, especially. And so a lot of students coming to college for the first time don't necessarily have all of the tools that they need to be as prepared as they could. And this is our fun way of helping provide that.
Are there any questions? Senator Crespi?
It's in surplus of 3,700, right? Isn't it like we have to table it if it's over 25? So I guess motion to table till next week. Is that how we had to?
It's automatic.
It's automatic?
Yeah, it's an honor.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Moving on to Bill 1902, emergency funding for college Republicans to extend CPAC.
Hello, everyone. College Republicans are looking to attend the Conservative Political Action Conference, also known as CPAC. It is going to be held at the National Harbor. The SGA is traditionally funded. For those of you who do not know what CPAC is, it is an annual political conference attended by a large number of conservative activists from across the country, as well as a number of leading Republican politicians. It is a great networking opportunity. I will say the SGA has previously used special carrier funding to fund this event and allowed the college Republicans to attend. Last year, Bill 1801S, sponsored then by club coordinator Jake Miller, was unanimously approved by the Senate.
Point of information, where are you guys staying again? I didn't hear, I'm sorry.
I haven't said where it's in the National Harbor.
It's in National Harbor.
I'm going to yield
Thank
the
you.
floor in just a minute to President of College Republicans, Grace McDue, to specifics. But yes, we did unanimously approve a similar bill last spring on January 30th. I would also like to point out that, even though this has conservative and Republican attached to it, I myself will be more than willing to sponsor in the future any bill or legislation that will allow other political groups to attend comparable conferences. Marie Lewis is the president of the College Democrats, and she is co-sponsoring this bill with me. At this time, I'd like to yield my speaking time to Mr. Grayson McNew. Speak a little further about the event.
I stand here and not in the Thunderdome. Thank you, Senator Burrow. Thank you, Madam Chair. So I just wanted to cover a little bit about some of the expenses of what this bill particularly pertains to. Go into depth a little bit more about what Senator Burrow was talking about. So CPAC is the largest political conference that is held in the United States. We went last year. I was able to take 5 students, including myself, and we were able to go for about 3 days. The conference runs for about 4. And within the conference itself, not only are there politicians who will address folks and speak and whatnot, there's lectures and workshops and all sorts of other small breakout sessions that occur for folks to sort of learn how to cultivate a good chapter on campus for college Republicans. So it's a good learning experience for some of my younger members, and this year, to my surprise, we had 15 people who wanted to attend, most of them being underclassmen. So I wanted to try and make sure I could get as many there as possible. Now, one of the things that has always sort of been an offlet for me being able to take students is the sheer cost of attendance. So last year and previously, the Federation of College Republicans in the state of Maryland subsidized me to attend this event. So they provided basically rooms for about $85. I could get tickets and a room for each person, and that's incredibly cheap for National Harbor. This year, they're not doing that. They announced this only about 2 weeks ago, that they ended up telling me that we're not going to be able to fund us through this fashion due to some changes in leadership. So we came here hoping that you guys can help cover the rest of the costs. The new students that I have that want to go. Right now, for funds appeals, which we did try and calculate in there based on receiving aid from the Federation, we received $425 for tickets and $125 to cover the hotel costs. Without the Federation subsidizing anything, tickets per person for students are going to cost $85. Any hotel room in National Harbor will run upwards of $200 a night per room. It's a very pricey area to be in. And most of the hotels are booking up. Since I submitted this bill, the price of some of the hotels have already gone up by $25 to $50. So we want to try and get this answer as possible to get the best deal that we can. At 425 mark, I can barely take 5 students, and I can't even pay for half of the room. So we're just looking to try and cover this, because one of the big things that they hold at CPAC is a ginormous job fair, basically. It's got 100 and some different organizations that come there from around the country that basically give you interviews on the spot if you're interested, but they also sort of introduce you to things that you may not be familiar with in the world of politics. Super PACs, different political organizations that get out there and do work. The 2 students I took last year, or 2 students that went 3 years ago with me, we paid for this out of our own pocket. They actually ended up working for organizations that now are partnered with CPAC and were there last year tabling at the job fair, and will be there again this year tabling at the job fair, and they've got some of our members internships as well. So that's basically the gist of where all this stuff is coming from. So if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer. I'm just going to go ahead. I like to motion to debate.
All right, this is how the debate's gonna work. I'm announcing it because we've never done it before, and this is gonna be really interesting. Yes, there was multiple zeros. All right, each side gets 5 minutes. We're going to get a sense of the support for both sides. We're gonna ask you to physically separate everyone in the middle, and
If you don't know your position, please stay in your seat.
yes, stay seated. What I will ask is that each side appoint a speaker, a single speaker, who will take a spot in the middle for the debate. Everyone on their sides are allowed to confer with the speaker to make points. The speaker may yield time to other people, but that person in the middle is the chair and speaker for that side. Yes, we'll give you 2 minutes to figure out where you stand on this.
Point of clarification, what the fuck do I do?
Take a seat.
Take a seat,
One of the,
like, stand by for.
Word language.
sorry, we're being sticklers for language now. I'm as much
It's
subject
being
to-
live streamed, that's the only reason why I say that. It's on our web, it's on the.
Like,
I
parents
am-
are-
I am so much sorry. I ask that only senators and only voting members, order, only voting members take a side. If you are not a voting member, please resume a seat.
So now is your time to.
But
Those
Is
who
that
are,
voting? Sorry.
Parliamentarian.
those who are debating, go to the middle. If you're not, stay in your seat. That way we have a clear delineation of who is speaking and who is not, who is conferring and who is not. Yes, and then appoint your speakers and make sure that we know who they are.
Trustee Hooper, yes.
Point of clarification, is that voting members or speaking members? If members of the exec board
Voted.
have speak privileges and not voting privileges.
I ask that exec board stay seated minus Jake, who has made the motion for debate.
So Pierre Santos.
May the Senate know what exactly
It's for or against.
We're not voting on the bill, we're going to roll call this week.
No, we can't, because that's.
It is possible to.
Point of information.
No.
Okay, so I did not get prior requests for the bill to be, considered to override the rule for tabling. So to be able to do that, it's normally put towards my committee, so I don't know how we would do that.
The reason why I want to have the debate tonight is I wish to amend the bill, and the amendment would allow that to be voted on tonight, because it would pull the request to under the 1500. Which is why I want to have a debate now, assuming how.
Point of clarification.
Trustee Hooper.
Can we know what the amendment is before we debate about it?
The amendment, just to top the 24 and a half.
Okay.
Point of information is why.
I mean, that would be going to the debate at that point. Like, unless you want me to start going to.
Could you clarify what you said again about?
Now, like, if to elaborate why would we start from like.
No, what the amendment was.
Point of information,
I couldn't hear.
The proposed amendment I would have is to cut the proposed amount in half.
Okay, thank you.
point of information. I believe the senators would like to know the background behind why we are calling for a debate.
Sure. So this is a request that was submitted very late to us. It was at the added submission, there was no forms put in place for it. So forms have been put in place, but it was not brought to my attention or the attention of the club earlier before the bill was brought to us. My issue with it is I do not believe this bill is fair to other clubs, as college republicans have already received other funding, and this amount is the whole amount of clubs we need. Normally, we would fund this at half the amount for like trips like this, which is why I'm motioning to just cut the bill in half.
I'd like to make a bit of information out in terms of the paperwork that was submitted. The paperwork was submitted well before any mandated deadlines by the Office of Student Activities. It was after the bill was submitted, but it was only 2 hours per night. Yes, the bill was submitted first. However, we were notified that the paperwork had been turned in. First, before we could bring the bill to SGA, the paperwork was turned in within a matter of hours after receiving that notification. I'd like to yield to, do you want me to yield to this? No. Yeah, I'd like to yield to Mr. Padu.
So to clarify on that, like I said, when I presented up there earlier, I got notification a few weeks before, that was before the semester began. We got the forms in about 33 days in advance of the event itself, which is within the parameters that are listed. So if we're going to let 3 days, stick with this. And I do understand, which the Reverend Cole mentioned earlier, about the full funding of it. As I did mention earlier as well, the goal of what I like to do with this is to make sure I can provide students with a high quality learning experience at no cost to them. Like I said, most of the folks that I have coming to this conference right now are freshmen and sophomores, so I want to make sure that I can take as little out of their pocket as I can possibly, do within reason. They still have to pay for meals, they still have to pay for gas, transportation, any of that stuff like that. This simply covers tickets in the hotel.
Before we move to debate, if you would like to be on either side, please come into the middle. If you would like to stay outside of the debate, please stay seated. You have 2 minutes to confer with your sides.
Point of clarification, if you are for the bill, please stay on this side. If you are against the bill, please come to this side. If you have no opinion, please stay seated. Executive board, please also stay seated.
And again, please pick a person as your
Guys, come inside if you guys are talking.
yes, like inside.
So we can, recognize if you're sitting, if you're standing, it's like, that makes sense?
Is like, that's actually they want to look past that. They're on this side and they want to. Or they don't want to.
I think that's
It's not really like
also like in this events.
1 more minute.
We're driving ourselves. I'm sorry.
Only one person is speaking.
You can yield your time, or you need a designation.
You only get 5 minutes.
You get 5 minutes at once.
So if each of you wants to do 1 minute, you can do that, but you only totally get 5 minutes.
No.
You have 30 seconds. If you have not decided, please stay seated. If you have decided, please select the spot that you want to be in.
All right, it's time.
I would like to make one more point of clarification. Any and all statements by the speakers must be directed to the chair, not to each other. There are no personal attacks, and if there are, you will be called out on it. And again, 5 minutes, which the meeting will be timing.
Okay, and,
As Jake made the motion for debate.
okay, all right, the against side has 5 minutes, starting now.
So I want to make it clear that I'm not against the funding for any kind of conference. I believe that CPAC would be a great opportunity. However, I do have many issues with the manner which this funding was proposed and also the channels for which it went through. First, I brought up the timing via forms. Yes, they were ultimately timed, but the first request form was submitted 1 day before the deadline for them was, which I do take issue. And if they had come to me or Victoria Chambers or coordinators, they would have been aware that these forms would be moved much earlier. Senator Portillo brought out that the similar bill was funded last year, but they say that they're similar is, the only thing they're similar is that they're funding the same exact thing. For one, a bill was presented to me first and was prepared through the corner position much different coming from a senator where it's not being clear who is at proposition or through any members of the student activities office who handle the entire process of the field trips. In addition, the bill is for $720. This bill is currently 3 times that amount, which is a much different piece. In addition, there is the issue of fund appeals, how not a lot of funds were requested. I understand that there's a little warning about how this, how funding from the seat conference itself was not approved. But this was a similar issue from last year, which recently questioned why they didn't request more funding, realizing this was a similar issue that happened last year. In addition, I questioned whether fundraising is being considered for this event. Fundraising is something that many clubs use on campus, and it could have helped lower the cost of the event. But as far as I know, no effort was made to fundraise the costs, and everything that could from the SGA at the point. In addition, there's no indication for how this money is being split up, whether it's going to like how because since there's only money given on appeals, there's no indication of whether it's going to the hotels, whether it's coming to conference costs, meals. It's very vague. In addition, I questioned whether or not this is fair to other clubs. I did the math. So college Republicans, from their request at spring fund appeals this semester, they received 55% of the funds, which is roughly average for most clubs asking for over $1,000. If this bill were to pass, given what they already received and what they're currently asking for, they would be receiving 81% of all requests, which is the greatest amount of any club funded so far, asking for more than $1,000. So I question whether or not this bill is fair for clubs, because this also sets a precedent for other clubs, whether or not they can come and ask for funding in a similar manner. I would ask that this bill be cut in half, so it's similar to how a fund appeal process would work. So they would receive 50% for the trip costs and hotel costs, which is what the average is for clubs, which is what the minimum is for clubs who ask this type of cost. How you?
Again, this was something that the SGA has funded in previous years. The reason it is higher is simply there are more members going. And again, there was lack of subsidies from the state federation that we were expecting that there last time. I'd like to now yield. Chair, I'd like to now yield my time. I'm a little out of the data. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm gonna
Pause. Am I allowed to yield to someone from outside the Senate?
No, the rules were specific for voting.
Like that was not clear.
You can yield to your group, you still have to stand for someone else. Yeah.
Okay.
Starting now.
Again, this is a good networking opportunity for especially a lot of underclassmen. This has led to 2 former students doing full-time jobs. I think this is a fair bill. I think there are other clubs, political organizations that I would also be willing to support if they came forward. And I don't know how in good conscience that we cannot support this bill. There is a precedent for supporting it. In terms of funding, again, Chair. Again, we thought there would be subsidies from the state federation. Those were not there. And now the other members would like to speak. Is there something to respond?
Not outside of you were clear.
Can I ask?
Is it a point? Are you done?
No,
are you done with your
I'm
5
not.
minutes? Is it a point of privilege?
No, I wasn't debating, I apologize. I just wanted to ask a question.
All right, so are you officially?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
We would,
You could just.
I'd like to.
You have 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm not a part of the club that's asking for this, but, maybe as a resolution, we can meet in the middle of taking 25% off and not 50% of the cost.
I cannot, as someone who is a minimal part of the executive board, the lowest ladder, I cannot speak to how that would affect the cost of hotel rooms and the cost of admissions and how it would cost for a regular student ago. I will say we have looked at trying to save as much money as possible. That's why a number of members are carpooling to the event. We are not asking for funding for any transportation whatsoever. The fact that this event is in the National Harbor does mean it's going to be a little bit pricier than perhaps some other conferences or some other activities that we may fund. However, I believe that the benefits of this bill and the, the principle of outweighs the potential cost of this to the SGA.
All right, resume.
Revert back. Wait.
So you can all sit down and move with the questions.
All right, pause. True. Rebuttal. Thank you for waiting. Both sides will have a chance for rebuttal. 2 minutes each. Thank you for the reminder. My apologies. At this point.
All right, starting now.
To reiterate, I am not saying we should not support this. I'm saying we should make this fair to the other clubs who would also request funding. Still keep it at half. As someone who's a club leader and a member of many clubs, I know there's an expectation that sometimes we do have to commit personal funds to club activities. As someone who's a member of the frisbee team, I have to buy jerseys and I get paid for doing their trips out of pocket because we don't get enough funds. And that's just an expectation I have coming into it because there's limited resources available in your school. So I understand that, yes, it would be great if we could fund every activity fully, especially ones like these. I understand, but I am also realistic and understand that sometimes I do have to think personal funds to a point that I want, especially if I'm passionate about it. And I know there's an issue they brought up with safety funds. Since this is in state, it could use state vehicles and avoid the issue of gas. So that could save on the trip itself. And also, I know the Gable hotels are very expensive hotels. So I'm wondering if they considered looking at other hotels outside the area that would be slightly cheaper. So it might have been more travel time in the morning, but it would save them extensively on the cost. And the time.
1 minute.
They stress that this event is very important, and as we all want to give opportunities for students in the school, I have a question as to how this annual event continues to happen, and they continue to ask for funding, if there are really any efforts taking place for fundraising on the executive board's part, which is their responsibility as a club, as an organization, for
Rebuttal.
In terms of fundraising, again, the state federation does normally subsidize this.
Yeah,
that is a typical source of our fundraising. I do believe before I was a member, there have been fundraising in the past. Unfortunately, it is hard to do a lot of fundraisers because there is somewhat stigma to this club. So just to address that, the club is open to fundraisers in the future. I think we're in the process of planning some. So just to address that. In terms of the cost of
Point of privilege, information to people on the live stream, actually can't hear what's going on. If we could also do it about
Okay, thank you. Resume. You have 1 minute, 22 seconds.
Okay. In terms of using the Gaylord as the venue for the hotel, it's actually the cheapest hotel you can find in the area of the events. And also, I'd like to further point out that in the bill, it says any unused funds shall be returned to the SGA. So if there is a reason where we can find a cheaper deal on a hotel, on travel costs, that money would be automatically given back to the SGA. This comes out of the special carryover fund. This is not like a town grant. The special carryover fund allocates to SGA while it's unknown. Specifically, how much it can be estimated that the special carryover fund holds about $400,000 to $500,000. That's what I was told by the treasurer. So if other clubs want to go to similar events or do similar projects that they get in front of deals, I would be more than happy to support any resolution that will fund them. I want to be equitable across the board.
Sure, I just want to point out that, we stated earlier that the money would not be going to transportation costs, which is what they were trying to follow us, but that's not part of it.
Okay, we will now move back to general discussion. Everyone please be seated and keep conversation going. Does anyone have any instant, discussion questions or is the topic at hand? Anyone have any comments? Please stand.
We're back to.
We're back to, yeah, we're back to general discussion.
Okay, just a general question. Like, okay, I'm sorry, I don't know the rules. If it wasn't a debate, but they didn't like say anything about it, but I asked that question again, I don't know.
I'm sorry, can you?
Sorry, so I felt like one of my questions weren't really like clarified in the debate. Am I allowed to ask that question again? Just for clarification?
I'm willing to allow the one question, but only the one question. Okay. Bro. So please stand.
This goes to anyone who knows about this. Subsidies from the federal government is not fundraising. So I guess what I wanted to say is, okay, that organization, other people are going to help you, you know, that is other people helping you, that isn't you fundraising, making the event yourself on campus to try to reach out. Even if it's $50 or so, like, I'm not saying you have to, get $1,000, so that's difficult, and I acknowledge that, but where it's that ambition on the executive board with that.
I'd like to offer a quick rebuttal. Apparently, the club a couple years ago did a fundraiser. They made $10 because no one wanted to donate to a club that had a name on it. That's what I was informed by the executive leadership at the time. Again, that was before I was part of the club. Secondly, these aren't federal government subsidies. This comes from the state federation. That's a private organization. So this is not federal government subsidies. There have been in the past local politicians and other leaders who have agreed to donate to the club. That counts as fundraising. That goes into the fundraising account. That money is not there this year, unfortunately. We were hoping it would be there. We reached out to them, from my understanding, and that has not happened this year, unfortunately.
So just for future reference, if these organizations aren't able to donate to your club, let's say for next year, how is your club going to be proactive in trying to find these funds before having to come back to the SGA with the same thing next year or the year after?
Well, the club is constantly looking for fundraising and for donations. We work very hard at doing that. We will work very hard to hopefully get more donations by next year, but we need SGA funding to operate at some point. All clubs no club on this campus can rely solely on fundraising. All right, all clubs need some subsidies from the SGA at some point. If the funds appeals process, it feels like this. So we will try in the future, and we'll continue to try.
I can't say something, I can't follow up, but no. If I can't, it's fine, but I can.
In the interest of time, because we've been on this subject for so long, we will be tabling this bill.
then we'll go into the as amended.
What cause those? Pause.
Alright, Club Coordinator Chang. So, Senator Pence brought up the possibility of lowering and reducing the requested amount by 25%. I thought that that would be something we should maybe discuss as a compromise, especially since each side seems so staked in their position. But also because it is late, we are tired, and we have been on this subject for a while. It might be best to also think about it for a while as well. I don't know. That is just a seed I want to plant.
I will.
We're gonna, I'm sorry, we have to.
I mean, if you do the amendment for 25%, we would be able to vote on that tonight.
Okay, that's what the amendment is.
We can, I mean, if the amendment, like, I motion to amend to reduce the amount by 25%.
Senator Brinson.
So, it's my understanding that, I guess it depends. It's just confusing, that we now have two motions, one to do 50, one to do 25.
For clarification, the amendment for 50% was never officially heard.
Okay. I'm just.
And
I'm
for
not
further,
allowed, I'm not allowed to amend.
and for further clarification, the amendment for 25% was not yet been seconded.
So I'd like to officially motion for second, or to reduce by 25%.
Can I ask a question about the amendment?
Yeah.
Okay. So by reducing it by 25%, it will be whatever amount that, I don't know, that's what you all guys want to vote on right now, whether or not they will get that.
Okay, so, yeah, so if we motion to amend, we vote on the amendment. If the amendment,
That gets tabled?
no, we'll vote on the amendment if we want to put it in. If it passes, then the bill has to be tabled again until next week, where we will vote on that bill with the amendment. If the amendment fails, the bill does not fail, we can still make other changes. Does that answer your?
Yeah, then can you ask questions for next week, once it's, like, if it is approved? Or
Yes.
is it just like a yes or no next week?
If it's brief, because we haven't had much to do tonight. Senator Pence.
Point of clarification, so if the amendment fails, and we're back to having losses of $2,159, are we still going to?
Yes.
I would also like to clarify, that doesn't mean we can't do other amendments. I will next week, preferably next week.
That's what it says. Right? So the motion,
I motion to reduce the amount allocated by 25%. Right here, second.
okay. Do I hear a motion to move to roll call vote? Okay, do I hear a motion to move to roll call vote?
Motion. Okay, we are voting on just the amendment. Senator Schwartz.
Aye.
Senator Wilson.
Aye.
Senator Belgado.
Aye.
Senator Walsh.
Nay.
Senator Pence. Senator Benner. Senator Nortman. Senator McNesby. Senator Perillo.
Aye.
Senator Shorter. Senator Johnson. Senator Lewis. Senator Utz. Senator Walker. Senator Malaga. Senator Henry. Senator Bernstein. Senator Shapiro Santos. Senator Ortiga Valencia.
Nay.
President Hernandez. President Cooper. President Lana. 2-minute recess. No, with the B's with an abstention. B's are abstentions, dashes are not here.
I really
Hey, Dave.
No. It's not open for discussion.
Oh my God.
So 2/3 majority of the Senate are required to pass an amendment. It is the opinion of the chair if this amendment fails. Do I hear a motion to table?
Motion.
All right, moving on to officer reports. No, stand up and be recognized. President Messick.
Okay, so I'm the only one, I'm probably the only one giving an announcement because it's ever so slightly important. I need to form elections committee because that needs to happen soon. I need 2 senators who are not running for a position next year and 4 students who are also not running for any positions. If you know any people, give them my emails. It's kherberger, HERBDR, GDR, like this. Lots of letters. Different letters. There's lots of letters. Please put this in your Senate reports. Any students who want to join the committee. Do you have any other questions about it? Like what the committee is? Elections committee, we help facilitate the elections for next year's SGA. That's why no one running for a position can be on it.
If you have questions, please email.
Yes, Ken Herberger. Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
There aren't many updates regarding that. They are going to be more attentive of the general issues that were brought up. I hope that will improve. I can't think of anything else. If you have questions or concerns about things that were brought up, I will try to answer them. If you email me, and I'd like to see a couple people afterwards. I can't remember. It's fine.
Okay, any officers wishing to report? Yep. Vice Representative.
Hi, So the multicultural room is open, so if any clubs want to use it for meetings or if you have like small events and you want to use it, like you can use it. We're looking to get people like on work sites to be able to have it open past like 6 p.m. like whenever OSA leaves. The coordinator for diversity and civic engagement, that position, we were like looking for a candidate last semester, that kind of fell through, so we had to start the process over. So that will be happening, it starts now, and then we'll have candidates ready after spring break. It's an event on Friday for Mike Brown Senior. He's Mike Brown Jr.'s dad, the guy who died from police brutality. Very important, first day of Black History Month, very important event, so can you put that in your position point? 8 p.m. in St. Mary's Hall.
There's also a Facebook event for it.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay, any other officers wishing to report? No. Technically, you're saying. Oh, yeah. Are there any other class officers? Anybody? No. Okay, Senator. Well, no, yeah, I didn't mean class officer, sorry. You meant, yeah. Okay, moving on to Senator reports. Senator Walker.
This is just an idea, but in the past, we've spoken about, problems with people forgetting to include the president or the president in the Senate reports. I was thinking, what if we all add the president's email at the end of each like sheets list? Please no.
SGA. No, it's SGA.
Please include the SGA at smco.edu.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take them if you send them to me, but please don't.
Okay.
It's an influx. Are you standing?
Yes.
Okay, Senator Briggs.
I think I myself am quite confused. It'd be really helpful for me to make an informed decision if it might be okay if you maybe see a breakdown of the budget of which the money's going.
Like a spreadsheet.
Kind of like a spreadsheet, simply saying like X is for housing, Y is for a bunch of other allocations.
Yeah.
Something like that, so that gives us a lot more wiggle room, so we can see like where we might need to have, where things might be, you know.
I mean, that can definitely be distributed to the Senate email list, within a couple of days.
And then I'm gonna give my time to, also Joyce, actually, hold on. Is there, yeah, actually, I can deal with
Hi, make this as quick as possible. So I'm a co-sponsor for the previous talent grant that got denied and one that got accepted. I wanted to say that I would like to talk to anyone who had names because personally, I want to co-sponsor Champions Point Club. I'm president. We want to team up with Zach and try to make this event go on. We are already in the years of fundraising. We're going to get towards $500. And I would like to know how much is left in the special carryover funds because I would like to split his talent grant cut in half and use half of the special carryover funds and know if we can do that.
So you want, are you guys to clarify, you want the how much in special carryover?
I want to split his talent grant in half and I want to use the remaining half that would be due. So he was asking for 3,200. So to do 1,600 and then 1,600 of talent grant and special carryover.
I'm not liberty to say how much is in the special carryover. But, I mean, that's something, if you come with a proposal, I can consider it.
Point of information.
Yes.
Yes, it is something I stated in the past. I was a junior senator at the time, it was one of the first bills I had to write, but they allocated $2,500 for artists' fees for just a dedicated concert on the Christmas field back in the day. So that's something that we did do just to offset waiting on the talent grant. So that's the precedent.
I would think this would keep the talent grant from being drained and give the students who want a sober environment and a fun time and people who are underclassmen who aren't going to be attending 50 days. And it's all around being a part of Bottom County. This is the kind of event that we want to help sponsor. So we are personally fundraising and selling t-shirts. If we sell all our t-shirts, we are going to be making over $1,000. We would like to put that money back into something like this. And we'd like to give it back to the SGA if a bill like Zach's can pass.
President Davis.
Periodically receiving conception reports for any seniors to please apply for graduation. It is on the portal. We have about 50 of y'all that are not registered for graduation. Oh, and 100 days is this Thursday. Totally forgot.
I will be selling glasses at the door from 9:30 to 10:30 PM this Thursday. Any other questions, please email her.
Yeah.
President Landon.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, this isn't really relevant until next week. But, the first year class, spent the majority of last semester focused on building ourselves up, learning the rules, and the huge tuition increase thing that ultimately we're not really focusing on anymore. So at the start of the second semester, we have our very first fundraiser, which is very exciting. Essentially, the first year class is becoming Uber Eats for St. Mary's. So on February 7th, students can place their orders for pre-order at the London House Foley for either 5 or 7, and then they should get it within an hour of that time. As it progresses, if it becomes better, we'll include like more restaurants, maybe more times, but this is what we're doing for now. It's very important as a first fundraiser, so all of you guys in this new constituent reports have a flyer attached. It is in the meeting folder. And if you guys yourselves can help fund this thing, it's just a $3 delivery fee, which is $2 less than Uber Eats, and we'll bring it literally anywhere on campus. We'll bring it to the River Center, we'll bring it to your dorm, we'll bring it to the library. Maybe not necessarily bring it into the great room, but if you have any questions, you can talk to me. Thank you.
Senator Pence.
For this new constituent report that's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, and shade code 132 is to call from that.
Any other senators wishing to report? 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like,
Motion to adjourn to committees.
how was it done? You don't have to have something.